They were designed to pose a danger to the United States. This was not a line from a Hollywood film, but rather from the real-life commander of the United States Pacific Fleet, Chaparro, Sam. At a conference in Washington in late November 2022, the admiral literally declared that before military reporters and the entire globe, and you can't blame him. The anxiety level is significantly higher. Because, well, Uncle Sam is spending big bucks on military aid to Ukraine, $18 billion so far. China isn't wasting any time. The Chinese Dragon has just created 6 submarines that can destroy America in 30 seconds, but what is keeping them from pressing the red button? Welcome back to another exciting video. Today's video is about how Chinese submarines might overwhelm the US in 30 seconds. Before we start the video, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Chinese power. First and foremost, let us confront the elephant in the room. Anyone who believes that a fight with China will be easy on the US hasn't looked at the statistics in a long time. China could have 5 aircraft carriers and 60 cruisers and destroyers by the end of the decade. That is more than double the existing tonnage. Its navy could overtake America's by 2030. China continues to manufacture a significant number of additional combat aircraft, including a next-generation tactical bomber, the H-20, as well as electronics and ground-based missile systems. However, there is plenty of opportunity for the nuclear weapons project, which might result in 700 warheads by 2027 and another 300 by 2030. In addition to the pre-existing silos, China's fleets of nuclear ballistic missile submarines, SSBN, and submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBM, are frightening the Pentagon. That is the topic of the hour in geopolitical space. But what exactly is it about these submarines that makes them so terrifying? Let's dissect it. China's Type 094. The Chinese Type 094, there are 6 submarine Types 09 in China's increasing fleet, each with 12 missile launchers and a total of 72 missiles. As part of China's nuclear deterrent force, at least 4, if not all, of the submarines are claimed to be based on Hainan Island in the South China Sea and patrol the waters there on a regular basis to protect its submarines from foreign anti-submarine troops. According to the Congressional Research Service, China aims to use the South China Sea as a bastion, the Julong-2 or JL-2 submarine-launched ballistic missile, which has a range of roughly 4,464 miles, allowing Chinese submarines to attack areas of Alaska from places near China. To reach the United States East Coast, these submarines would have had to enter waters east of Hawaii. That table has been reversed by the new longer-range JL-3, which would allow China to attack the US from a safe harbor in the South China Sea. According to certain American press sources, the JL-3 may have a range of more than 6,200 miles. If the JL-3's range was expanded even further, the majority of North and South Dakota, as well as Montana, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Utah, and California, would be at risk. If China's missile submarines shift their patrol zones to include the Bohai Bay, the JL-3 has yet to be commissioned by China. So far, all of the preceding statements and data estimates have come from the United States, but Chinese military experts contend that China is developing SLBMs to protect itself from nuclear blackmail, and that US military speculation is based on false information in order to increase funding for the development of its capabilities. According to them, the US military is attempting to increase its presence in the Asia-Pacific region during the Russia-Ukraine conflict, as well as generate more funds to restrain China by misrepresenting China's routine national defense growth. The US military intends to increase the number of anti-submarine troops stationed in the West Pacific and build its own more sophisticated nuclear-powered submarines, such as the Columbia-class, which is scheduled to replace the Ohio-class, citing the China threat theory as justification. Furthermore, its nuclear forces based on submarines are largely built for counterattack. China maintains nuclear capability at the bare minimum required for national security. USS West Virginia. The Chinese Navy's overall tonnage or total weight of its ships would rise from 1.3 million tons to nearly 2 million tons as its carrier fleet increased from 3 to 5, and it may eventually result in an increase from 6 to 10 of the Type 09 for nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines. In comparison, the United States Navy's Pacific Fleet is home to 6 aircraft carriers as well as 50 cruisers and destroyers. It also has 8 nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines. The ships of the Atlantic Fleet are not included in this total. The U.S. Navy has a total tonnage of around 4.5 million tons. This leads us to believe that the U.S. has the genuine beast, the USS West Virginia. While China's submarine force is primarily diesel-powered, all U.S. submarines are nuclear-powered. Of course, no discussion of U.S. nuclear naval strength is complete without including the indisputable old-timer, the USS West Virginia SSBN 736. She has been stationed on an Ohio-class ballistic missile submarine since 1990. She is the 11th of 18 Ohio-class submarines and the 3rd ship in the United States Navy to receive the name West Virginia, the 35th state. The U.S. Navy is in the early stages of building a new Block V variant of Virginia-class attack submarines, which will have significantly increased firepower, cutting-edge new sonar technology, and will make use of the most recent developments in automation and AI, thanks to a $22 billion contract between the Navy and General Dynamics Electric Boat. The development deal has made tremendous progress. 8 new Block V submarines are being manufactured, each with a new 80-foot weapon section that will allow the submarine to increase the amount of onboard Tomahawk assault missiles from 12 to 40. The Triton II D5 missile is installed on U.S. Navy Ohio-class submarines. The 3-stage ballistic missile has a maximum range of 4,000 nautical miles and can carry numerous independently targeted re-entry bodies. According to Navy estimates, the 130,000-pound Triton II D5 missile can travel at a speed of 20,000 feet per second. Each rocket will cost $30 million. The Triton describes 3 types of warheads: the 100-kiloton W-76 Malawian Quachas, the 100-kiloton W-76, and the 100-kiloton W-76. 1 Mk4 warhead and the 455-kiloton W-88 Malawian Quachas 5 warhead, the greatest yield ballistic missile warhead in the United States arsenal. The Navy plans to extend the service life of the Triton D5 missiles in order to ensure mission effectiveness in the next decades. Triton submarines are 560 feet long, or roughly 2 football fields, and are being designed as the baseline weapon for the Ohio Replacement Program ballistic missile submarine, a unit intended to serve well into the 2080s. Each submarine is capable of carrying 24 submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs. The U.S. New Columbia class. Submarines that used grease to quiet themselves lost some of their ability to move on the surface. The X-shaped stern will aid in this. Electric drive propulsion continues to rely on a nuclear reactor to generate the heat and steam required to power turbines. Instead of utilizing so-called reduction gears to spin the boat's propellers, the power generated is transmitted to an electric motor, and an old MIT research from the time the electric drive was being evaluated for submarine propulsion suggests that employing an electric motor has additional benefits. According to an essay titled Evaluation and Comparison of Electric Propulsion Motors for Submarines, an electric motor utilizes the installed reactor power more effectively than mechanical drives, freeing up more onboard power for other use. A mechanical drive submarine, according to author Joel Harbour, consumes 80% of its total reactor power only for propulsion. Another technology employed by the Columbia class that was built exclusively for the original 3 Virginia-class combat submarines is a computer-driven joystick navigation system, fly-by-wire technology, and fiber optic periscope technology. Because of automated navigation, the submarine can choose its depth and speed autonomously, freeing up a human operator to continue exercising command and control. Despite the fact that the U.S. Navy has already fallen behind its Chinese counterpart in terms of ship numbers, the U.S. naval force remains dominant. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.